Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today's a very happy, special day, because Eevee Grove is out. That new Eevee set from Pokémon TCG Pocket, it is out, it is in the world, it is available to be talked about, so let's have a good old chat about Eevee Grove now, shall we? We're going to look at all the secret rares, and of course, as we go through, do a bit of a set review while we're here, because that's the kind of thing we do. Sound like a plan? Excellent. And we might as well start off, I think this is a sensible place to start, having a look at the Eevees. Because of course we got all the Eeveelutions in this set, and of course, the Eeveelutions get some fancy cards as well. So we got ourselves Leafeon, which is the one we were shown the other day. Single energy, and it does 10 damage, plus 20 more for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon. So nominally it can go into a non-grass deck, but realistically, it is just, can you get enough grass energy on there? We do have a Superior, which doubles up the grass energy that you have. So absolutely there is a possibility of essentially using that Superior and going nuts with this. I don't think it's going to be quite good enough in the long run. There's a Flareon. Love the art on this Flareon. Does look like it's burning the world, but other than that, love the art on it. 2 energy, 40 damage, and you get to attach a fire energy from your energy zone to one of your bench Pokemon. Can be very useful if you want to be setting up a Flareon EX, for instance. We got a Vaporeon floating around in the water, looking pretty cool. 3 energy, flip a coin till you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And essentially what's happened here is that Pokemon have gone and given this extra cost above what it might otherwise have, because we've got stuff like Misty and stuff like Manaphy to get the energy on there. I don't think it's good enough, to be blunt, and I think it's too expensive, and I think most of the time it's not going to work, and for that I'm sorry. We got a Glaceon, 2 energy, 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's a stage 1, it's not a single energy, and it only does 50, which doesn't KO evolving basics most of the time. Not loving this one either. Jolteon, however, I am loving Jolteon. Jolteon makes me very, very happy, because we got single energy, 40 damage, but if it evolved this turn, 60 damage. Well, 60 is what evolving basics have. There's a lot, and I mean a lot, of 60 HP Pokemon out there. You're going to need something to use to mop up the game later, and there isn't a Jolteon EX, I'm sorry. Really wish there was. But early game, oh, this is one of the best Pokemon in the game. Like, genuinely, early game, this is one of the absolute best Pokemon in the game. But because you can't choose the kind of energy which is generated in Pokemon Pocket, you end up in a bit of an issue whereby if you're not going for a full Lightning deck, there's no guarantee you'll get the Lightning energy when you need it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a bit of a problem. Espeon, single psychic energy, 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. And, you know, it's just sitting there in front of some mountains, chilling on a log. Looks absolutely beautiful. But this Espeon is absolutely phenomenal. Against any energy-hungry deck, single energy, lots of damage, yes! Absolutely. Also, just remember that when it came to Extra Dimensional Crisis, I made this video on a train. Makes me really happy I'm not on a train recording this right now. Now, Sylveon's got 2 energy, 40 damage, plus 30 more for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So, the theory here goes very simply, get 3 evolution Pokemon sitting on your bench, and then you're doing 130 on a single prize Pokemon. That's ridiculous. But even if you've only got 2 on your bench, you're still potentially hitting there like 100 damage. That is nice. This is a very good Sylveon. And this one does have an EX. Now, we've also got Umbreon. Umbreon I love, but again, it's very specifically darkness energy, which can be a problem. Because, you know, yeah. But for a single energy, 40 damage, and if the defending Pokemon is a basic, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So your theory here is very, very simple. You just have Umbreon sitting out there and just stopping basic Pokemon. just constantly sitting there going, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go. And eventually, hopefully, your opponent is going to end up just running out of options. Yeah, they'll be able to retreat a couple of times, but there's going to come a point where they can't retreat anymore, and that's how you win. There's also an Eevee. It's beautiful, right? And I love the single energy draw a card, but I think I've made it pretty clear at this point in previous videos, this isn't my Eevee of choice. And I don't think this is ever going to be my Eevee of choice. Because the Eevee from Mythical Island's got single energy, flip a coin till you get tails, 20 for each head. Yes, I am well aware that you could just flip tails and get nothing, but there are going to be games where you flip a lot of heads, and this looks really good. I do like drawing a card, but the potential random swing from heads is just too good. I'm playing the other Eevee. Do love the art on this one, though. So there's your Eeveelutions. There's no single point Pokemon other than Eeveelutions that get the fancy treatment. Now, in terms of EXs, we've got full arts and we've got some special arts coming in as well. Let's start off with Flareon. Flareon gets both. Wow, they all get both. And Flareon's like my favorite in the set. Like, genuinely my favorite card in the entire set. I've got a video coming in a minute where I'm going to show you some deck lists, and I've got a Flareon deck list, which I'm very happy with. But the ability says once during your turn, you can attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon, and you got to put 20 damage on it, but then free energy, 130, discard 2 energy. Well, don't worry about that, frankly. Don't worry about that. Because the theory here really simply is, you attach 1 energy on your first turn, and then you evolve, attach an energy, use the ability, smash. Discard 2 energy, next turn, ability, attach for turn, smash. I love Flareon. Flareon makes me very, 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 very happy. But it's not the only Eeveelution we have. The other Eeveelution EX we have is Sylveon, and it's the other one which I think is absolutely redonkulous, over the top, amazing. This Sylveon is busted, and the artwork, I mean, it's Unishida, who's generally pretty gosh darned awesome. So yeah, these arts are phenomenal. The reason I'm showing them off in this video. Sylveon EX, absolutely ridiculous. The attack's 2 energy 70, it's fine. But the ability Happy Ribbon, once during a turn when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, draw 2 cards. I love this. I absolutely adore this. This is absolutely phenomenal. It's a 20-card deck and you're drawing 2 cards. That's 10% of your deck when you play this card. Absolutely ridiculous ability. I cannot stress enough how great this is. It's Professor's research on an ability. Any deck, and I'm not always going to be able to, but any deck where I can shoehorn this in, oh, you better believe I'm going to be shoehorning this in. Not to mention, of course, that we've got the other Sylveon, which is actually a really good attacker. Add it all up. This is looking awesome. The 2 Eevee EXs in this set I am absolutely in love with. We do also have a Primarina looking extremely happy there in the artwork. And this one's got Hydro Pump, single energy 40 damage, but if you've got at least 2 energy it does 80, or free energy 100. It's got high HP, it does decent but not great damage. It's going to be good for taking out single point Pokemon and 2-hit KOing 2-point Pokemon while having a bit of bulk. That's the best I can say. Speaking of bulk, Snorlax, basic Pokemon, 160 HP, but it's got a huge retreat cost of 4. It does have an ability that heals 20 if it's active at the end of your turn, but then 4 energy, 130, and it goes to sleep. The retreat cost is too high, the attack is too expensive and doesn't do enough damage, but oh, I love the 160 HP and healing. And it's worth noting that in this set we are also getting leftovers, and leftovers, if it's attached at the end of your turn, will heal up another 10, so that's kind of healing 30. I'm just saying that there's a little bit of potential at least with this Snorlax. And then we got Dragonite, just kind of chilling with some blimps, why not? 180 HP and free energy 180. Now, during your next turn, it can't attack, and it does have a super awkward energy cost. But firstly, it does 180 damage, and secondly, you do get free retreat with Leaf. So you can potentially attack here, and then just like retreat, buy a turn with something else, and then come back and attack again. I'm not saying it's always going to work, but I am saying that 180 damage, I mean, it's too enticing, right? It's way too enticing not to at least have a little bit of a play around with. And then, of course, we've got Eevee EX. Very much worth noting that Eevee and Eevee EX do not have the same name, which is very important for something like a Sylveon deck, for instance, where you really want to be playing 4 Eevees, and here you absolutely can. And of course, we've got just absolutely stunning artwork here on the immersive card, so that's something to get very, very excited about. In terms of full art supporters, we've only got 2. We got ourselves a How. Lets your Decidueye, Incineroar, and Primarina do an extra 30 damage to your opponent's active. Of course, Primarina's the only one that we see from this set. But of course, we did have Incineroar coming around previously with either 30 damage plus burn for a single energy, or 80, but an extra 60 if it's got damage on. And now How boosts it up again. And then we've also previously had Decidueye, which for 2 energy does 100 to one of your opponent's Pokemon with damage on, or 2 energy does 80. So I'm just saying, any of those Pokemon get boosted by How. And frankly, we've already actually seen that Incineroar's a really good Pokemon that is seeing a significant, and I mean significant amount of play. So I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, you add all of that up together, this is one to absolutely pay attention to. Although remember, both Incineroar and Decidueye were not in this set, they were in Celestial Guardians. Now, Penny, I absolutely adore here. Look at a random supporter card that's not Penny from your opponent's deck, shuffle it into their deck, but use it. Basically, you play a random supporter card from your opponent's deck. And yeah, sometimes it's going to be terrible, and it's going to be deck-specific, and it's not going to work. Hitting a Howl when you're not playing a Howl deck is going to be terrible. And then sometimes you're getting an extra Professor's Research early game, and that lets you get set up. Or you're going to hit an extra Cyrus when you desperately need a Cyrus for a little bit of gusting, and then it's going to be amazing. I am not saying that it is always going to work. I am saying that there are going to be games where it absolutely saves you and wins you the game, and for that alone, this has got to be one we're willing to play around with. If I've ever got a space or 2 in a deck, I'm playing one of these just for funsies. We then do have Penny's Bag, that is the gold card that we are getting. We get 1 per set. I actually love this one. Basically, during your turn, you can either do an extra 10 damage with your Eevee attacks, or heal 20 from all of your Pokemon that evolve from Eevee. It's brilliant in any Eevee-focused deck, and I absolutely love it. And then random shiny Pokemon we can run through nice and quickly. We've got ourselves a Pinsir, which isn't that great. A Lapras, which is honestly not that great. Although it can do 90 for a single energy, you just got to have 4 energy on it. So it's not even for a single energy. Boo! We got Voltorb, which is kind of cool. And Electrode, obviously. We've got the whole Gardevoir line, and bearing in mind Gardevoir is a very playable card. Accelerates your psychic energy, that one is great. We got the Arbok line, which frankly isn't that good. We've got Farfetch'd, who's adorable. And to be fair, single energy 40 is brilliant, one of the best cards from the first set. And then in terms of EXs, we've got the Freebirds. Your Moltres accelerating energy has always been good. Articuno is alright. And Zapdos is also kind of fun. They were really good in the early days where you just played 2 of them and a bunch of trainers. And then we've got Gallade to go with your Gardevoir line. And to be fair, I've had a lot of fun with Gallade. So, I'm just saying, this one can be kind of good. So there we go. There's all your secret rares and you run through the set. All of the EXs, your trainer cards and all of that. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this set. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me what your pulls have been like so far. I've opened 22 packs so far. And I've hit 1 of the illustration rares. The Jolteon, and nothing else, not even a regular EX. Boo! But tell me if you've been doing any better in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Zarek Paris, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.